Everyone, welcome to episode four, sorry, of Coffee Table Musings. Today's topic is motivation, and I've always found it to be a deeply interesting topic. Not only does it capture the essence of someone's purpose, but it's also unique to each individual. And what is it that motivates you, and why is that? And how do you motivate yourself when you're not feeling energetic? So here to discuss this with me today, Fergus.
Hello.
Dimitri.
Yo.
And a special guest, Ty.
Hello.
Cool. Great. Great. So we're all
Nice.
good to go. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the main question, which is, what do you feel is your kind of your life motivation or your life goal? And I'll open that up to anyone who wants to answer.
Fergus?
I'll go. Yeah, cheers. Thanks for nominating me. Suppose there's a couple for me. So, like, in terms of like my main goal, I'd probably say it's just to like create stuff that I'm like satisfied with, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
In general.
Yeah. And for people that don't know you very well, it's kind of like in relation to design, isn't it? And like not products, but more like kind of like 2D design.
Art.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, visual stuff, music, maybe even like voice acting one day or something. That's
Yeah,
like my
sure.
retirement plan. Like
You just want to impact people with your creativity, then?
I guess, a little bit. It doesn't
Well,
have
what
to
you
be.
like doing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I kind of want it to be like, received. Like, it
So
doesn't
you
have
want
to
do
be.
something personal, but
Yeah.
obviously have people be, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, obviously, like any art, like you want it to be seen, but I don't really care if it's like not like a massive, thing. But
I get that.
at the same time, I like showcasing like my influences and sort of putting them together in different ways.
So
That
is that
sort
like the
of,
issue of? Oh, sorry, Fergus.
yeah. So like, yeah, I guess I like. How do I describe it? Whatever influences, whether it's from like cartoons when I was a kid, or just things that I still like, that I feel like should
That you
still
put into your
be,
work.
yeah, things that are important to me that I
Yeah.
want to sort of show a little bit of influence
I
in
get
what
it.
I
think
do.
that it's kind of like how your style came to be from all the little things
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
still
yeah.
like, enjoy. But obviously, we're an older generation now, so some of the stuff that was great for us is like what. This is a bit of a tangent, but I remember at the last job I had, I was at that age where someone didn't know what George of the Jungle was, and to me that just like hit me. I was like, I'm that old. Clearly, there was
Yeah.
no Brendan Fraser here.
Yeah, it is that thing as well of like sort of bringing back things that maybe reminding people of things that they'd forgotten about that I still think are awesome.
You
Okay,
get
Because
the nostalgia.
I've never actually seen George of the Jungle, unfortunately, but
But the point is,
I know what it is. Yeah. Who doesn't?
Is that kind of what you were saying Fergus, as well? Does that kind of relate to when you say showcasing? It doesn't matter how many people see it, but you like to have the respect from people.
Yeah, I guess it's like putting out something that represents my sort of
Style.
my background, I guess.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
sure. Yeah.
It represents what I like, but at the same time, it's got my spin on it.
Yeah, sure. No, that's really cool. And
Um,
that's
Yeah, sorry, go on.
no, I was just saying, was that in relation to? I know you mentioned about something you mentioned a couple of weeks ago. Was about Mike Shinoda and how you kind of really inspired by him. Did he have an influence on wanting to do that, or is that just kind of a general influence from music?
Nah, he's just sort of just his general sort of attitude and ethic, and yeah, the art that he produces, I think, is obviously has had an influence on me, but it's again like a small part of the puzzle, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
The other thing is, I do want to sort of, like, if I ever made a decent amount of money, I would want to, like, I feel like I would probably contribute a lot of it to charity. I probably wouldn't hang on to loads of it, but
Yeah, sure.
but that doesn't really, like, making money doesn't really make me get up in the
You
morning.
can give it
If
to
that
me,
makes sense.
Fergus. That's fine.
No, you don't need it. Like, yeah, unfortunately, that doesn't really doesn't really motivate me. But
Yeah.
It's a nice afterthought.
But if it did,
if
that's
you're gonna
like-
give me money, why not?
yeah, that's like if I was motivated by it, then I would want to do something good with it. But unfortunately, it just doesn't really, I guess.
I think
Too
I got a good
lazy.
answer to this question. I think what motivates me generally is like media that like say, I mean, people that have listened to the podcast before probably realize, but it's I love like sci-fi, right, and fantasy and space and all that
Cyberpunk.
nonsense. So like any show or game or any media related to that kind of genre, I think motivates me to think of ideas and other things and
Inspires
you know,
you.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's probably
Same-
what I
same
look
for
forward
me,
to.
yeah.
I want to see the next Expanse. I want to see the next Orville and stuff like that,
Yeah,
or
sure.
the next Star Wars Old Republic game, or the next Mass Effect game. That's kind of what, and I think
Keeps you
those
going.
sort of things are really motivating for me generally in life. Like, might sound a bit nerdy, but yeah, that's probably what generally motivates me.
I mean, you like
I
what
would
you like,
say.
don't you?
Yeah, that's probably like the things I look forward to the most.
Yeah, and is that kind of when you say motivates you, is it kind of it motivates you to create your own kind of work similar to that?
No, not necessarily. It just motivates. Yeah, maybe it's not the right question to answer because you.
Oh
the
no,
other
no, no,
question
no.
maybe
It doesn't have to be specifically what
Right.
motivates you directly, but it can also be what motivates you, just gets you up. You know, say like gets you up, gets you fired up and stuff in some
Yeah,
way.
that's what I look forward to. I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, sure.
That's what I wait for.
Yeah, sure. And do you feel like it has any kind of influence on what you want to do, if that makes sense? Like what you'd like to do if you could do anything?
Yeah, but I'm pretty lazy. I have to be honest. So I'd rather I do like the idea of creation, but it costs. I think for me it costs money and time, which I don't really see me having. So
Yeah, sure.
yeah, or maybe one day, right?
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
one day I can create a game or something. Probably a game, most likely.
Yeah, sure. Well,
like,
this is
related to those subjects.
yeah,
Influenced by all those things, but yeah.
yeah,
What-
because well, this initial question is like you say, just what motivates us. There's a question coming later on about how you kind of get motivated when you're not feeling it. So we can talk about that later anyway.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's a good it's
I'd
a
say
nice
that's generally
answer.
what motivates me in life to do anything. That's what I get up for.
Yeah, sure. And is it
Okay.
is there anything kind of I think I remember you saying to me in university that you really like working in a team as well.
Yeah, I guess so, but I don't like. You said what motivates you in life, right? To get up, like kind of. What's the question again? The very first question. So
Well, it's like what is your core kind of motivation? It doesn't have to be one thing, but it's like what your goal is and what your motivation is for life in general.
Yeah,
So what do you want to achieve in
I'd
your
say
life?
what I said was probably the right answer then. I wouldn't
Yeah,
say it's
sure.
like getting up to work in a team or anything like that. Not worried about that.
To be entertained.
Like I would say working in a team does help my motivation.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe it's not the right answer.
to,
but-
Okay, well,
to
yeah.
experience fictional stuff.
Yeah,
Stories.
yeah. It's like
Yeah,
it's like I enjoy like I like our world, but I like the fantasy idea more than our world, if that makes sense. The escape of our world
Exactly.
is more interesting to me
A lot
Yeah,
of
than
it's
sure.
our real world.
a lot of
than
it's
our
the
real world.
aesthetic as well, isn't it? I like the aesthetic of that sort of thing. Like,
Yeah, it's just the situation. Is like I cannot be a space cowboy in real life, right?
no, yeah. Actually,
So-
yeah.
Not
Yeah, you're right. But I think
Makes
I guess
sense.
I guess what I was hinting at is kind of like although the actual situations can't be replicated that you're seeing in those things, the feelings from the characters and the experiences of the characters are kind of relevant to real life. So I was just wondering, from what you said, is there anything that relates to how you'd like to feel in real life when you're watching those things, or is it simply the environment they're in?
I just get sucked into them, so it's like almost like I don't exist in real life, and I
Yeah,
go into
sure.
a different world. If that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. So that world is kind of the motivation for you rather than what's outside of it, and
Yeah, I'd say
how-
generally.
yeah, no,
I mean,
cool, that's
obviously,
cool.
like I like hanging out with friends and stuff like that, and
Yeah, sure.
playing Yu-Gi-Oh and whatnot. But
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I think generally, like what I most think about when I'm, like go to bed asleep or whatever, I think, when's the, I would love to play that game, or thinking about games that I've been playing or media that I've watched, stuff like that.
No, that is cool. And maybe we can go into more depth with some more questions later. I'll just go kind of go around the circle, as it were. Ty, do you have an answer to that question? It's I'll just go again. What motivates you in life? So essentially, it's like, what Fergus says, kind of like what your perhaps what your goal is for life, what you'd like your life to be about, and what makes you feel energetic in relation to how you want your life to be lived.
Well, yeah, no, it's similar to both of the points made before. It's more of my ultimate goal is just to be happy. Like, I mean,
sure.
Happy and have fun is the simplest form. Is I want to enjoy pretty much everything I have to do in life. Otherwise, what's the point in being alive? Like, I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, sure.
Doing tedious things I don't enjoy is one of the things I don't like doing, but obviously it's a necessity of life because I'm realistic. But I enjoy playing games. I want to be having fun while I'm awake. I don't really see the point in doing things that aren't fun or going to work out in the long run.
Yeah.
I just want to have a job where I enjoy the work rather than like wake up and be like, fuck this place.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Beep, beep.
But yeah, I like with Dim's situation. Like, for me, I like new stories, new information. Learning things in general is always nice for me.
That's cool. Yeah.
Brand new stories that people create when they make a nice world. Things that annoy me is when they make a new world but they don't follow their rules, that sort of thing. Like, it's more, if you're playing a game, you're playing it for a reason. Mine's just to have fun, either show my skill or just have fun doing it in a decent world that I like.
Yeah, sure. So from what you've said there, you just want everything to be about, which is it's a really good answer about being happy and finding everything that you do enjoyable.
Yeah, I just kind of want to be content and then take it from there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in life where no one wants to do it. There's a load of shit going on. People can see all the terrible things, and so it's just like, I just want to enjoy things because I mean, the world's not that great. You need people being great and making it better, don't you?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of also partially with you on that one. Like, when I sort of think about it, like, especially these days, like, I don't really try to force myself to do stuff that I don't want to do. Like,
your happiness at the end really matters, doesn't it?
Yeah, like, as I get older, I'm just sort of like, I didn't want to do this, so I'm not going to.
What do you need to do?
Spend time doing something I don't enjoy, that sort of thing,
Yeah, sure.
Same point as you made with your drawing or your creation. I agree with that. Like, I've got my DeviantArt that I've interspersely randomly upload on.
Yeah, I've seen it.
But it's infrequent. Like, obviously, I got the motivation to do more because I get what you said. I got recognized a bit because one of my pictures was like, oh yeah, multiple people were like, oh yeah, they like that, and I'm like, I wasn't expecting it, and I wasn't doing it for that. I did it because I like the anime or I like the character.
Yeah, you were feeling inspired in the moment to do the drawing. You didn't just sort of go, I have to do a drawing today. Like, it's just you felt like doing it, so you did it. Like, I'm the same.
Yeah, I get boosts of motivation because those recent uploads was literally like a 48-hour space of me just being up for 24 hours on my graphics tablet and stopping when my hand hurt. And it was like, all right, that was good. Let's go sleep and do it tomorrow. Then because it becomes a bit more like a chore. It's like, do I really want to have to draw today because that was a long period? I'm like, no, I'll take a break. That's
really interesting actually what you said there, Ty. It's kind of like an innate feeling that you kind of just go on your inspiration. You've seen something that inspires you and then you draw based on that, if that makes sense. That's really cool.
I go for hours. I need to keep once the image is there, I'm like, boom, I want to do this. And once I've done it, I feel the accomplishment and I'm like, yeah, that's nice. But do I want to do that again at the moment? No, I think I'm a bit worn out. So I'm just gonna chill and play games or chill and watch some anime. Or then get inspired again.
That is really cool. So for you, kind of the main goal is feeling like content and happy with your actions in your life, and then when motivation hits you, you kind of you react to it, and then you can go for a long time when you feel that way until you feel like it's not fun anymore, basically.
Like that is my motivation drug, where it's like, it doesn't really matter. I'm not forcing it. It's I want to do it. I want to keep going. It's like, am I going to go for another 3-4 hours? Well, the picture's not done, is it? And there's still things I want to do.
No, that's cool. That's No, it's three kind of they're similar in some ways, but three different answers there. And I'm gonna, if that's I'll just make sure you finish, Ty, before I go on to my answer.
Yeah. I think that's basically as I could put it.
Yeah, cool, great. Well, yeah. So when I was thinking about this first question, I was thinking about my own goal in life, and yeah, I'm also very really inspired by the heroes that I see both in real life and in fictional series. And yeah, just right from when I was a kid, when I saw one of the final episodes of Digimon, when they oh, sorry.
No, sorry, it was only an interject, but I am watching the new remake of Digimon, and I'm feeling it.
Oh, cool. Oh, great. Yeah, I don't dare watch it, 'cause
original.
I love the old one so much. Like, I don't dare watch it, but I might do. Yeah. But yeah, but yeah, they all. I just remember that episode. I think I was 10 or 11 years old when I watched it, and they all basically their abilities to improve themselves have been taken away, all of their extra bonuses and stuff, and they all basically they realized together that the traits in order to improve were inside them all along, so they're kind of their own qualities for each person.
They lost
And
their crest.
That's right, yeah. I don't want to say it too much in detail, just in case people that are listening don't know. But
Yeah,
but, like,
sorry, everyone. Ignore that.
Digimon spoiler.
But yeah, but Ty is right. They did lose their tags and crests. That's right. But yeah, so basically each kind of each member of the team had kind of an individual quality, and just for example, like friendship and hope. And I always love that kind of each person could kind of come together, and in a team they could all have the unique qualities and then come together and do something amazing. And when I saw that episode, I just felt like that's what I want to do. I want to help people, and as soon as I saw that, I knew it, but I didn't know how I wanted to help people. And I realized as I got older, you need to have like clear, definable goals. Otherwise, it's hard to reach them, because if you just say help people, it's a broad thing. You can never really achieve it. And I realized as I got older, what I really want to do was to help people become their best selves. So I really hate the thought of someone living their life and not just not being happy, but not being able to fulfill their potential because they're unhappy, or because they've got a situation which makes them unable to do it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, or unable to actually even
try
get out of the house, or like hunger, for example. And then I went on from that. Recently I just thought, some suffering in life is unavoidable, for example like death, or breakup of relationships. But what I really want to prevent in my life is unnecessary suffering, as I call it. And I think that, like, for example, as I mentioned, hunger, I believe that although it's unavoidable to a point at the moment, I think it can be stopped. Or mental health issues, or just situations like people being homeless. That's another one I'd love to be able to help with. And I think when people are helped in that way, that enables them to live their best lives. So for me, I always try and take action. I can't do it all the time, but even people that are in my vicinity that aren't perhaps they don't have extreme concerns like this, but say for example, Dim, you came and said to me, I can't get to work this week because my car's broken. I think that maybe because I'm on holiday.
Come pick me up, would you?
Well, yeah, if your car was broken,
would you
yeah.
come get me? Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that defines his point more.
This is on the record.
rather
that's a good
than-
friend that is. I like that.
This is
But
on the
that's what I
record.
mean.
If that happens.
So although it's like a small thing relatively, it's kind of like something that enables someone to continue living their life in the way that they want to. And then I think,
do that.
yeah, and I think that like perhaps I kind of like, I won't kind of go into it because it's more about this is more an answer in the second and third ones, but I try and find ways that I can
help everyone else.
Yeah, whenever it's achievable, whenever the opportunity arises, or sometimes if I notice that they're feeling
Where
feeling
can
bad
you
for
step
some reason.
in to
Yeah,
help
that's
them?
right. Yeah, and it's not about, for me, I realized I'm part way through my studies to be a therapist, and an important lesson I learned there is that you can't do everything for someone because it won't help them, but you can. It's essentially like teaching a man to fish. Like if you help them kind of to
Learn.
fish, To learn, that's right. Yeah, to learn.
Learn
they
what's
can.
actually causing them the harm or the unhappiness. Because telling someone why they're not happy doesn't help them.
That's
not
right,
be
yeah.
happy, does it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and understanding, like with empathy, understanding their situation, and then enabling them to have their own positive mental strength rather than just doing everything for them, because they don't want to rely on me all the time. I want them to kind of stand on their own 2 feet, and able to live their life in that way. But people obviously need support to be able to do that initially, and that's kind of the support that I want to provide, but giving them that independence, but also kind of helping them whenever I'm able to, basically.
Yeah,
so
well, let them know that it's okay to lean on someone when they need it.
yeah, exactly, that's right. So yeah, for me, that's my kind of my core motivation. And even, to be honest, actually no, I won't go into it yet because I'm going to keep interrupting the other questions, but yeah, it's that would be my answer for my core kind of life motivation, at least.
So
That's fun.
for that, with that approach, your sort of a little bonus for you would be like, if you can help someone, then they can help other people, isn't it? You're kind of spreading, potentially spreading.
If you've helped someone, it motivates you to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it goes back to help one person, doesn't it? Help another person, then they'll hopefully help someone else.
Yeah, it might inspire them or whatever, enable them to,
Yeah, I mean, to be honest,
it's like a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't.
Objective.
Yeah, I didn't think of it in that way, but you are right. I hope that when they're able to live their life in a contented way and in a happy way, they can then spread that message onto other people. Yeah, that's something I didn't really think of, but that is certainly a good point.
Sometimes when people go through experiences, they can then help other people with the same
also, when people go through those, they get a bit more empathetic to their situation.
That's right. Yeah, and empathy is the main thing for me.
That wins.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you can understand someone, like actually understand them, then you there isn't as much of a problem. It's only the misunderstandings that cause a lot of people's problems.
Yeah, I mean,
and actually putting yourself in someone's shoes, you can say it, but doesn't mean you can actually do that.
You're right, exactly. Yeah, exactly, and that's true. I mean, it's that's what they said in my studies. It's like you can never actually fully understand another person, but you can try your best to understand from their perspective as much as you can, and you do that by kind of asking them questions and being engaged with them and stuff, and actually listening to them rather than assuming you know how they feel. So yeah, I mean that's and those are kind of just small skills that I've learned in terms of which I can take into daily life in terms of helping and. Yeah, and obviously now my focus is saving enough money to complete my studies and become a therapist. So it is kind of an ongoing goal, but it's something I can do every day in a small way as well, which is a good feeling as well.
That's like your tracks to the goal. It's like you do the little help so you can do the big help.
Yeah, and actually that leads me on nicely into my into my next question for everyone, which is how do you stay motivated on a daily basis? So. This is not really what I just said about kind of what your next step is. It's more like what do you do on a daily basis to achieve the goals that we just spoke about? So even if it's with you, Ty, even if it's just like being happy and contented, we can still talk about how you achieve that in the best way that you can, whilst also being realistic. So, but yeah, anyone can go ahead on this one if you kind of understand what I just said.
I guess I'll go again.
Yeah, sure.
So. This kind of relates to what Ty was saying earlier, I guess, which, like I'm not necessarily motivated on a daily basis, but, so, like with my graphic design and stuff, like, I suppose my daily motivation is more to do, find ways to express myself instead of like expressing stuff for other people. Like I don't really like doing that much work with design and stuff like for other people. Like
yeah, sure, but that does relate to your core motivation, doesn't it? Like you want to express yourself, so that is in relation to it.
Yeah, so like if someone asks me to do a logo, I'm kind of like
yeah.
My chime in now is I like people to just tell me what they want. It's like, if you want someone to do something for me, ask me. Not like, do you want to do this? It's like, no, you want me to do something, so ask me to do it, and then I'll be like, yeah. Because if you're like, do you want to? It's like, no, I don't. Why would I want to go out of my way for no reason?
And then you can say no.
Yeah. So if you would like me to help you, I don't have a problem with that. But you just need to ask rather than, do you want to help me? It's like, well, do I really want to go out of my way? I know it sounds bad, but it's not like I don't want to not help. It's just, why not just ask me in simple, plain terms? If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Hi,
sure.
help me, I need you.
Okay, but then I'm not going to be like, well, no, because if you need help, why wouldn't I help? It's more of a, but do you want to help me? It's like, well, I'm not at this moment in time. I don't want to, but do you need my help? Is more of the point.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Getting into semantics here.
We just got to force you then. It's all good.
Of course, I mean, if you want the help that badly, then why wouldn't I help?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so like if I, come up with an idea that, something I want to do that might motivate me to learn a new skill, like, I did that drawing the other day when I haven't done any drawing for like 15 years. And I was like, I'll just try it and wing it. And I was like, actually, it's not bad.
Pretty good.
So,
sure.
whereas if someone else had gone to me, can you draw this and this for me? And when I don't know how to really draw that well at the moment, I'd be like, nah.
Yeah, sure.
You'd have that. Yeah, I suppose I could.
Yeah, it's like it's not something that's like excites me, like doing something for someone else. It's not expressing my vision.
Light up your eyes.
Yeah.
And be
If
like,
I don't come up with the idea myself, like, I want to do this, then I probably won't really do it unless they pay me loads of money.
But then the money's just the motivation there. It's like, well, that's
yeah. But yeah, like I say, like it's not enough of a motivation to. Like, it has to be a lot to actually get me to stop what I'm doing what I actually want to do.
Yeah,
interrupting my day
answer
with bliss.
to what you guys are saying, actually.
I just Tim, I'm just going to quickly reflect on what Fergus said, if that's right. Then then you can I'll go. I just want to make sure that I've got it right, Fergus. Is it basically so when you talk about your own motivation on a daily basis, you pretty much always feel when you're motivated, you always feel quite motivated to create something and express yourself. But it's just when it's like for others that it's kind of like a bit more difficult. So the motivation is always there for you when you want to do it for yourself.
No, I wouldn't say it's always there. At the same time, like I'd say I'm like Ty, where if I'm not struck with something, then I'm not going to force myself to be creative. If that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah.
Like if I'm not in the mood to do it, then I'm not going to do it because I think, well,
that makes sense. Yeah.
the results might not be as good. I don't know if that's the results might not be what you want.
Depends on the situation, right?
But also, if I just don't feel like it, then I won't do it.
No, that's true. I guess that is kind of the case with kind of more creative projects, isn't it? That you need to have that.
I think you burn out on the creative stuff, so you gotta give it a break sometimes to get the.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, I just might be like, well, I'm not in the mood, so I didn't really consider not doing it a waste of time, like relaxing or playing some games or whatever. I don't consider that a waste of time because, like Ty says, I'm having fun. So
yeah, sure.
Especially while I'm on, furlough. Like,
oh yeah, sure.
I do think, since I've been on furlough, I've got a lot more stuff done than I would have done if I hadn't. But at the same time, I'm not thinking every day, I could be back to work in a few weeks. I need to get this done. I'm just gonna I'll do as much as I can when I feel like doing it. But I'm also enjoying just not being at work. Like that in itself is valuable to me. Just having a good time.
Not forced, but you've got the time to focus on yourself now. Because again, at the end of the day, everyone going to work is what needs to happen. But work at the moment with a lot of places is forcing you to do something you don't want because there's broad problems or just how things are run aren't good. So now with this going on, people can actually focus on themselves.
Yeah, sure.
And that is literally, well, okay, I'm stuck inside. What do I want to do to make me happy?
Yeah, I mean, I like being at work. It's just in case I know it works. This thing, don't find. So
I know what you mean, Fergus.
I do like being at work, but while I'm off.
You might as well make most of it,
it's
right?
kind of 50-50. It's like 50% of the time, I want to be doing stuff that I wouldn't necessarily otherwise have time to do. Like, I want to get my work done. I want to get creative stuff done. And the other 50% is like, I also want to value this time. I'm not going to get another time like this where I can just do nothing again for a while. Like,
yeah, that's right.
It's like valuing the nothingness, I guess.
Yeah,
being back
freedom.
Being back on at school holidays, Oh.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with my time?
Obviously, you get school holidays, Sean. So
yeah, that's true. I'm off at the moment. But yeah, using it.
Didn't you break up early?
But yeah, using it when using the inspiration when you have the when you have the feeling for it, and using your time even when you don't, you don't feel guilty. You just want to enjoy the time that you have. So that's great. That's that's a really cool answer, especially with the kind of creative topics as well. And yeah, Dim, sorry, you said you had a good answer.
So the question, right, was like, what motivates you on a daily basis? Yeah.
Or well, rather, how do you stay motivated on a daily basis? So it's
how
like
do I stay motivated?
Yeah, but you can still answer it in that way. That's still related to it.
That would be still a motivation, wouldn't it? It's like, because that's what you're choosing to do with your day.
Yeah, it probably would. It probably would encompass the same answer. So you feel free to interpret it how you.
I don't know. I don't know if this is right, but basically, on a daily basis, I have like a routine, right? Of sort of like getting up, and then what kind of helps me start the day, gets me motivated to actually do anything in the day. It tends to have like a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or something, right?
Yeah, sure.
Without that routine, it kind of throws me off a bit, and I'm a bit too sleepy, or I can't really think straight to actually do anything.
Yeah,
so
I can relate
always
to that.
Have a little bit of caffeine in the morning just to give me a bit of kick.
Yeah,
Head start, right?
Yeah.
And also, I'd say the other thing is, like, relating back to my main motivation, I think like checking like YouTube and like news information daily. It's usually something I do. Like, I look at YouTube or something like that just to check at the new, I don't know, like technology that's coming out, graphics cards, stuff like that for PCs.
Yeah.
Things like that, just to see what's coming in the future, if you know what I mean. That kind of keeps me motivated, knowing that there's something coming, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and that's kind of related to your first answer as well, isn't it? Or things you're looking forward to. Yeah.
So I don't know if that's right, but yeah, that's the kind of motivations I would say.
No, that's cool. And actually, I do kind of agree with you with that kind of.
Yeah, looking forward to getting home from work and having a little game on the computer with my buddies or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
That kind of keeps me going.
Friend.
Yeah. Well, no, I understand exactly what you mean about the kind of about the routine. I think obviously I don't wake up as early as you do for your job, but if I don't have a shower in the morning, I just feel completely out of sync.
Yeah, I got a shower every morning as well.
Yeah.
That definitely wakes me up.
I kind of have to like force, like if there's something I want to be doing, like music or whatever, on a particular day, I have to almost like force myself to have a shower, because I don't want to. I'm like, I just want to do this right now. Like, as soon as I've woken up, I'm like, I want to work on this right now, and then I'm just like, I should really have a shower first, get it out of the way, so I can just get on with it.
with creative stuff, they do say, don't they, that you're more creative in the morning when you first get up. Your mind's more active, and your imagination is better in the early hours of waking up.
Sure.
One more thing I missed out, actually. I have started like, I guess, like working on my health a little bit more when I'm, when I've got more time in the day while I'm on furlough. So I've been like working out and getting more sun and stuff. And I actually do need to get sun for my I have like a skin problem, and like I've been just getting as much sun as possible and like working out and stuff, and just trying to get those things sorted out while furlough's timed pretty well, and it's like nice weather and stuff. So make the most of that at the same time.
Well, I look forward to tomorrow, man. It's going to be a blazer.
Nah, I'm not going outside tomorrow. 30 degrees, whatever it is. Fuck that, pardon my language.
Well, actually, no. I can take kind of some things from all three of your answers, actually, in relation to.
Wait, did Ty answer? I guess you sort of did.
Well,
I didn't know if you were doing order or not, but
no. Sorry. I thought because when
Fergus
was
a bit
partial.
Not like...
Yeah, no. Sorry, Ty. Please go ahead.
I know it's no problem. Well, it's basically what you were just saying. Is I've taken from both of yours, because I'm similar to Dim in certain ways, where I'll have my daily news updates on how the world's like going down the shitter, like information on
positive podcast.
That's why I go to those fantasy worlds, mate. It's better there.
But it's just, but I gotta be realistic. Right? If I see the problem, I still want to be informed of the problem. Just because no one else knows about it, if you know what I mean, doesn't mean I should be ignorant. So I like to keep up to date with what's going on. Same with the games industry and all this stuff. I'm interested, anime, music, all that sort of stuff. I like to stay up to date. But yeah, motivation in general is like I wake up. Usually, my days are usually impacted on how I felt the day before and how I feel when I wake up, because depending on how happy I am at the time, it depends on what I really have the motivation to do. If it's been really good and I had a good sleep, a good dream or some weird shit, then fair enough. I'll wake up and just be like, yeah, cool. What do I want to do? And then I've got more motivation. I know for a fact,
sure.
the happier I am, the more motivated I am, because I get to a certain point where it's like, cool, well, I got to do that, and things don't seem like as a chore, rather than that. Because when things start being a chore, it's like, well, okay, that I don't want to do it. And people will also say, well, that's life, and it's like, okay, but that sounds pretty shit, right? like shouldn't I want to be happy rather than just like, okay, let's just deal with that's life.
I guess you'd also prefer to be distracted with like games or something, wouldn't you? If you're having
distraction,
a bad day, I'll just be I'll just play some games.
The escape.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Take your mind off.
Stopping myself from thinking about things is one of the main things. So it's just like, well, okay, well, if I'm doing something, keep myself occupied doing something I enjoy, then there's less time to think about random other stuff. But I just it depends. Like for me, I'm more spur of the moment with things. I'll want to do something. I'm quite nocturnal. My sleep schedule goes backwards and forwards, but it doesn't matter what time it is. If I've got the motivation to do it, I'll want to do it. And if I don't do it, I'll be like, well, this is pretty shit, so I'm going to go and do it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think that, what you're saying there kind of relates a little bit to your first answer, doesn't it? It's like when the inspiration strikes, you'll go for it, but if not, you feel like, you just want to stay content in that moment.
I weigh in the pros and cons. It's like, oh, cool, I do want to do this, but is it going to be more hassle than it's worth?
Yeah, sure.
And if I work that out and it is, then I'm not going to bother doing it and find something else to do. But if I just want to do it, then there's no thinking about it. It's literally cool. I feel like I want to do this. It's the same as your point when you made right at the start with the Digimon. Because I do remember watching it and I liked it. Plus, the main character obviously was Ty, so it's like
sure.
like, but it was again, they were useless because they were just children, weren't they? But the fact that they still could do something as a whole means that everyone has their value.
Yes, exactly.
Even if they can't see the value at that time.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's more of a introspectively kind of trying to work out what things you value more than others and how you do stuff.
Yeah, well, I say it's an interesting question. It sort of goes on to the third question, but say for example, then I know you said obviously you have to be realistic at times. Like how do you go about it if you feel like I don't want to do this, but I have to? For example, like you don't have to give a specific example.
I do that frequently because again, there are a lot of things that do need to be done that most people would prefer not to. But it's going to be more hassle in the long run if I don't do it.
Yeah. So
I might as well do it now. Or most of it comes down to, well, I live alone, so if I don't do it, it's not getting done. I know
what you mean.
So when you look at it like that, there's not really much else you can do, right? Because
sure. So it's kind of like if it's forced upon you, then you can kind of say, you're right, I have to do this. There's no choice. So I don't have to motivate myself. I just am motivated.
Well, yeah, because it has to be
the
done.
Dentist.
Necessity.
Necessity is one of the biggest things why people do stuff. And at the moment, like when there's other stuff, it's like, well, I do want to do other things that I'm happy doing or having fun with, but I can just get this over and done with, and then do what I want to do. Depending on what's going on, obviously, with things being up and down, not having to do much. Yes, there's a lot more you can do, but it's still like, well, it's still a chore, right? That's the way they call it, chores.
Sure.
But yeah, it's just getting the motivation where again, if I'm more happy with the situation at the time, things aren't as much hassle for me. So it's like, that normally that would be like, do I really have to do that? On a good day, I'd be like, yeah, it's fine, might as well bang that out. That's cool. Do that. And then it's not a problem. But if I'm in a mood, then it's just like, well, fuck this and fuck everything.
Yeah.
But I can't really help that. So it's just like, well, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, so my kind of my answer about how I kind of how I stay motivated is takes a slightly different tact. I mean, basically, sorry, I just moved my mic. Is that still okay?
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, that's
okay,
fine.
Cool. Yeah. So how to stay motivated is I often make lists at the start of the day, and not just like every day, but if I have certain things to do, I make lists, and then I often in order to help me, I often start with the biggest thing, which I read once is a good way to kind of stay motivated. Like you start with the thing that you don't want to do the most, and then everything else seems easier after that, if that makes sense. And then I figured out that I work better in the morning, as Dim was saying. So I always do anything I have to do, I do in the morning, and I kind of treat the afternoon then as a reward essentially for doing all the work. And that's how I've always worked really. It's like once you've done what you need to, then you can have the reward. But if you don't, you can't.
That's how I eat my food. I eat the worst thing first, and eat the best thing last.
Actually, that is true. Another topic. Yeah.
I would have thought that's quite similar for all of us then, because I'm still feeling the same with you. Because if I am going to do things, it's usually when I'm up in the morning, like get it done, and then you've got all the time to do whatever you want, and no one can say anything, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess. Yeah, but what I do is I'll do it literally everything at once. Like I won't take a break. I'll literally do everything I have to do. Then I'll do what I want to do. Like, I won't do anything that I want until I've done everything that I need to do.
I do a similar cleaning mode where it's like, oh, I need to clean that. Okay, and then 4 hours later, this fucking place is spotless.
Yeah, sure.
Sometimes when you start cleaning, you can't stop there, can you? Like, I should do
No.
this as well. This is
Yeah.
Wait, oh no, I might as well do that over there.
Yeah,
Might as well do that
I'll
over
go
there.
like that. Yeah.
But yeah,
Sorry.
no, it's no worries. I say, but yeah, I think the main thing for me though is certainly with every action that I take, I always kind of reflect on whether the decision I make will make me feel proud of myself or proud of what I've done. So if someone, I guess, asks me a question or asks me to do something, I feel like what answer that I give will be beneficial to them, and in doing so, I can feel proud of the answer I give or proud of the action that I've taken. And that also, it doesn't have to relate to other people. It can also relate to me doing things. So I really have a strong feeling actually, like actually it was kind of increased more since I became interested in the universe, probably, I don't know, about 10 years ago now. But I was watching a documentary and they said I don't know the exact figure, but the likelihood that life can actually complex life can exist is so minute, and I feel like I've been given such an opportunity here, like to be alive in the first place. Like, I can't waste it. I can't waste the day. So that's really what motivates me. I weigh up each decision and make, does it align with my values and how I want people to feel when they hear my response, and also yeah, my kind of feeling that I can't waste my life basically, and and also it all relates to the goal in my first answer in relation to getting rid of unnecessary suffering for people, trying to motivate them. And I feel like I'm not always given the opportunity to do it, but if I can do it, then essentially it's not even really a question. I can't say no to it. I have to just of course, I can't be so much that I'm so tired I can't help people properly, but
reasonably, if it can be reasonably done, it's not even a second thought. It's I can do it, so I will.
Yeah, I mean, not even that. I think it's more like I'll do things that require a lot of effort, but at the same time, if I'm
but your feeling of doing it isn't that much effort, then, right? Like, because of how you feel about the action you're doing, it would be effort, but what you're getting from it isn't effort. It's the satisfaction of doing the thing that you wanted to do, regardless of effort it takes.
Yeah, exactly.
And to you, it does not feel like effort like that.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's true. But say, for example, there are certain situations where I would say no. Say, for example, if I had to get up early for work the next morning about like 5:30 or something, and someone said to me at 10 o'clock, I don't know,
you wouldn't overwork yourself, then, basically.
If they said to me, I'm having a really hard time, I'd like to talk to you, I would do it. But if they said to me, please play on this game, I've got no one to play with, I kind of weigh it up and say, okay, that's not as important as me going to work, if that makes sense. So if it's kind of an emotional
priorities in order, it's more about, do you need to be there emotionally for that person, or do they just need you to help?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, it's just if it's like a fun thing, for example, that isn't necessary, like a game, for example, then I won't do it. But if it's like I'm actually in a very bad way now, then I basically there's no way I could say no. So
it's something you prioritize as a higher value than what some people would. Like for me, I play games quite frequently, but at the same time, if someone was like, well, I need help emotionally, that does work. That beats work, because work is work. At the end of the day, your friends are usually more important than work, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would do both, but I mean, yeah, I'd just be very tired when I woke up the next day. But, but yeah, that's for me. So it's kind of like the main issue is like, can I look myself in the mirror and say that I made the right decision? And if I can't, then I basically won't make that decision. That's what I do with everything that I do, really. So that's how I stay motivated with every second, really.
You want to be happy with all your decisions.
Exactly, that's right. Yeah, well, more than happy actually. Just kind of like
I nailed it.
yeah, I guess what's the better word saying? Content with all my decisions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So the final question for this topic is what do you do when you're struggling with motivation? So we've sort of kind of gone through it a little bit, but I don't know if anyone else has anything else to add to this bit. I have kind of written down my own answers, so I didn't kind of forget certain points.
Mine's simple, mate. Sleep. That's all you need.
Oh, right, so you kind of associate with being tired.
Most of the time, if I feel unmotivated, or it's usually because I'm tired. Generally.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. You guys, anything else to add to that one?
I suppose I'm a bit opposite to that, because I don't. If I'm enjoying something, I don't get tired. I can quite easily go for like 24-hour stretches of doing things I enjoy, which pointed out. But it's obviously not the greatest for me. But it's more of I don't do that. Like I don't tend to get tired when I'm interested in things, which is my motivation. Like if I'm interested or it piques my interest, then I usually go quite hardcore into it,
Sure.
and that also motivates me to do more of it, if you know what I mean, until I've exhausted the amount of information I can learn from the subject.
Yeah. But how about when you are struggling, when you don't feel like doing something? Is that kind of...
Sleep is usually one of the things. I mean, for a different thing, it's just more of it, because then I can kind of reset.
Sure.
It can't be my body just being tired is why I'm not feeling the greatest, if you know what I mean.
The only reason I say that is because, like, basically sometimes I get home from work or something, I have a game, but I'm so tired that I can't enjoy the game.
It becomes a chore.
I have to sleep, and I know every time I've done it so many times. Literally, I just go to bed for a couple of hours and get back up, and I feel refreshed. My brain is active again, and I'm able to concentrate and enjoy the game or entertainment or whatever I'm doing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. That's cool.
If I'm at work, I'm basically screwed. I have to just live through it, get a cup of coffee in, and just hope that I can stay awake till the end of the shift.
So when you actually have to stay motivated, Jim, it's kind of like more external things that help you, like you say, coffee and just like that feeling you have to do it, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty much the feeling. I form is like, well, how do I have to get it done? Fine, I have to get it done. So regardless of how I feel about it, certain things need to be done, and that's the motivation enough, if you know what I mean. It's like,
sure.
So sometimes it's just a change of pace, right? Like, say if I've been doing too much of something, sometimes I need to go and do something else.
The same with games, though, isn't it?
As well, I believe.
Same with the burnout of all of the things we've talked about over it. Because like if you do something too much, for me it becomes a chore. And I'm
it's
just
probably
like,
one of the reasons, Ty, actually, I reached out to you the other day just to kind of, because I haven't really been doing anything with anybody for quite a long time now with this lockdown going on.
Yeah, well, it's a long time to spend isolated, not chatting to people. Especially with the decline of games over the years. It's just disappointing to see.
Hey, hopefully it's getting better.
Yeah, well, it looks like the incline has been going on, and people have started to notice.
It seems like all the news and stuff that's going on. It seems like we're
it's getting in a good thing with the whole loot boxes, because I mean that is a good system that needs to go, just because it's hurting way too many people.
Anyway, off topic a bit.
Sorry. Back.
Is there anything else that you have to add to that one, Fergus?
I suppose I've already said, like, I don't
force.
Yeah,
it's not.
I don't force myself to do stuff, but
I think it's that's it, isn't it?
But for example, say I was like midway through doing something.
Yeah.
And I still want to get it done. Like if I'm working on a song or whatever.
Yeah.
I still want to get it done, but I'm feeling like
get it over and done with.
A bit sluggish, or if I'm like stuck, like sometimes I'll make something, I'll have like too many options. I'll be like, should this go here or should it go here? Like, it's like not. It's like it's a big change, but it's quick to do. But you still just like don't know where to even begin. Like,
sure.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know which is best. Like, I don't know. So, I don't know. Sometimes I'll just go for a walk or.
Well,
that's good. That's a good one.
Clear your head.
I always do believe. I think if you're generally unmotivated, it's because you're doing it too long. You need to change your pace and do something else and go back to it later.
what Dim said, isn't it? Is change of pace. Same as your walk is your change of pace. If anything, you
Yeah.
kind of do what you're doing,
The environment as well.
Or
find
even,
how you're feeling about the situation.
or even if I leave it for long enough, like a couple of weeks, like my perspective on whatever I was thinking about might have completely changed, and I might go, "This is the obvious answer now."
You look at it and it's like, well, what was I wasting all my time on before?
Yeah, it's like this is obviously the best option. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, maybe this
Daily
relates back
motivation.
to maybe this relates back to daily motivation. But when, like, I love going for like when it's, not winter or whatever. I love going for walks. Like I'm almost like addicted to going out for little walks.
Yeah,
It
sure.
doesn't like not long. I don't like long walks because I get tired. But it's something I really look forward to in terms of like just like breathing
Part
in
of your
fresh
day.
air and the plants and
Yeah.
just sort of
Part
just
of you
just
enjoying life, right?
yeah, just taking it in. But sometimes I find I'll go out for a walk and then I'll realise like I haven't been taking in anything and I've just been thinking about the next idea, like do this or this. And I'm like, wait, stop, just take
Yeah,
it in.
sure.
Stop thinking about
yeah. Like be in the moment, be present.
it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
sometimes I might purposely, go out for a stroll just like to think things over, or I might, do it just to sort of be in the, yeah, exactly, be present, like you're saying.
Little Yu-Gi-Oh and coffee days, man.
Yeah.
I miss that.
Don't worry, the good times will come again.
Yeah,
How you
when-
gonna drink coffee with the match?
I'm waiting.
Yeah, when you're
Um,
inside on the computer all day, I just like I just get a craving for just like I know Dim goes days without going outside, but I just get a craving just every day to. Sometimes I go twice a day for just like even if it's like 5 minutes, like
I get the craving,
It's
but
just so-
then I'm like, what the fuck am I actually gonna do outside? I'm not particularly near anywhere nice as far as I'm concerned. Like to have a walk apart from Bristol Road, like ooh, look at those cars. There's cars out on the road today. God damn.
yeah, I know.
I think it's the
look at those
company
cars.
right, for me. If I go outside, I need someone to.
Oh yeah,
chill
but
with
yeah, that's the point.
for
You
me
need
to enjoy it.
if I'm going to go outside to spend my time, I want to be having a laugh with people. Because for me, going outside is usually just to see people that I want to see rather than anything else.
Maybe Fergus is just a couple of steps ahead. Maybe when we get older, we'll feel like Fergus does.
I just have to get fresh air. Like
there
I just
is
love
a-
it so
Oh
much.
man,
like,
Fergus.
There is
One with me.
no, there is a kind of a science to that actually, and that's kind of based on how I stay motivated as well. If sorry, Fergus, if that's everything.
I guess the only other thing I was going to say is like if I'm like outside all day, then I kind of don't really have as much as an appreciation for it because you get so used to it.
Yeah,
It makes
sure.
it so much more enjoyable if it's just like in small bursts because you sort of get it's like a
Treat.
fresh hit, I guess, of
Yeah,
Dopamines.
of
Boom.
the
Great.
outdoors, the
You
outdoor
like your cold
dopamine.
coffees as well, don't you, Freddie?
Oh.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
like them.
Every day, yeah, that motivates me. That's like my treat, but like
It's your natural treat.
every day, like after lunch or whatever, I have my little cold coffee outside and a little waffle.
Hey, it sounds nice.
I know Sean, yeah,
every day. That's crazy.
Sean uses that as like his carrot on the stick for like I have to get everything done and then I can have my little treat. Whereas I'm just like, I want my treat now.
Yeah, you have your sneaky treat. Have your dessert first, and then you'll have your.
I'm motivated to have my treat.
Yeah. Don't you find that you can't enjoy it though unless because you know the work's coming afterwards? Where for me, I feel like okay, I'll
work?
really enjoy this one. Well,
What
I
work?
don't have any
Okay,
work
yeah,
to do.
I mean like the things you have to do in a day. But yeah, I suppose.
I get both your sides though, because I flip between those because it's like the little boost to get you ready to do the stuff you don't want to do. But then there's also get the stuff you really don't want to do done first, and then you've got all the time to have the greatness. But
I guess
mean,
I
that's
do
it,
do
I
that
do-
sometimes. Like I am like, we'll finish this and then we can have the coffee. But
good,
I
good
think
goal.
like a routine does make you feel safe. It makes you feel good. Like
Yeah,
just
that's
following
true.
the same routine over and over. It just
Gets a bit stale after a while though.
well, sometimes you look forward to doing that routine every day. I mean,
I love
Oh yeah,
routines.
yeah.
I
But
love
I mean,
it.
You know what I mean?
you can also have routines with variation as well, can't you? So I mean,
Yeah.
like sticking to one routine for me is super boring because I think when I do things too much, the same thing all the time.
like
there's
some
nothing
people, it's probably like
surprising
gym and
about.
stuff, right?
Yeah,
Like they probably look forward to going to the gym.
hey, well, it's a really good feeling.
Not me. Yeah.
I just
know.
yeah. Oh, it's dealing with stress and other things as well because gym is a way of like
Makes
letting
you
all
feel
that.
good.
Stress out
It does,
in there.
yeah. Well, exercise gives you those endorphins, doesn't it? Oxygenates your
yeah.
brain and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Well, actually, yeah, that's
But so does
that's-
nature.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
Yeah, and actually, that's the main one of my main kind of things that I do if I'm struggling with motivation. Like, yeah, the mind and the body are, interconnected. So what affects one affects the other. And I realized a long time ago actually that without exercise, I do feel quite lethargic. Without kind of, if I'm in the same place a lot, I need to have a change of environment. Also, that kind of that exercise to keep me keep me active and motivated. And I set a challenge to myself throughout this holiday to run every 2 or 3 days, maximum of 3 days, and I've been doing it so far, and it's been really good. I do have a slight problem with my muscles and my calves, so that's why I didn't keep to that routine before. But I find that actually when I'm doing it more and more, the problem seems to be resolving itself a little bit. So it's a weird thing, really. But yeah, I think that for me, the exercise is key when I'm struggling with motivation. And also, I guess like when I come in from exercise, my mindset can completely change if I've been feeling like lethargic beforehand. Yeah, and then like I come in, have a shower, and we put on some new clothes as well, and suddenly my mind's in completely different place than it was before.
Nice and fresh.
That's right, yeah, exactly. And I think that my main theory actually of motivation though comes from a book that I read several years ago, and I remember the line from it. It's motivation breeds motivation, and although that may sound quite silly, it's kind of like a snowball effect. So if you get one thing done, the snowball grows and grows, and then you can continually do more and more things. And that's how I found that I work as well. So if I don't feel motivated, like of course I can go for a run, but it depends what time of the day it is. So I might I might do some basic cleaning, even if my house is clean, just like, I don't know, hoover or polish or dust or whatever, and then it feels like then I can go to a next step, to a more important thing. And sometimes, like, I watched a talk actually about a month ago, and the guy said he had problems with focusing, and he was getting like, I don't know, C's and D's for all his grades, and then basically he created a formula which helped him be successful in his life, and it was essentially, he never said to himself, I'm going to read the whole book. He says, I'm going to read 1 page. But then 1 page became 5 pages. But it wasn't like he was telling himself to read 5. It was like he was just doing it because the motivation was there after he'd read 1. Does that make sense? And that's how I do it as well. Like when I wrote my my book a few years ago, sometimes I didn't feel like writing the chapter, but I just started, and then I kept going, because I knew that if I stopped, if I got out of that daily routine, then it wouldn't be good for me, basically. Yeah, that's right. And so sometimes, I know you guys say that it's not good to kind of force yourself, but actually that's how I tend to work initially. Like sometimes I don't feel like doing things, but I work on it then for about 10 minutes. I just say to myself,
that's different though, right? Like if you're playing a game, I don't think it's good to keep playing games. But if it's something like that,
no, in your daily life,
you can complete. Then I think it's
forcing yourself is something more of a necessity, because obviously you want to strive for being better than you are now, right?
Yeah, but also with creative projects as well. Like even with my book, though, I feel like sometimes I didn't have the creativity or the will to write, but I just did it and then it came. If that makes sense. Like I just start and then it happens.
You gave yourself the nudge to keep yourself back on track, rather than completely being like, well, actually, I'm going to take a break.
That's right. Yeah.
So that sense of satisfaction you get from completing the first step gives you
more,
the motivation. Energy to do the next one. You're like, yes, done that, and I'll carry on.
Right.
Like, it's like gives you that.
Yeah,
it's like the courage projection. Like obviously, you project that you've got courage. Most people believe it, and then eventually you could actually believe it yourself, because you're actually still doing it, aren't you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm still working on that one, but.
It's more about replace courage with anything you want to replace.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. It's been a while since I've done any artwork and stuff, but when I did do artwork, I always found it's more motivating for me if other people find what I was doing interesting, because then it made me feel like, if somebody else likes it, then
so you're on the right track.
I want to keep doing it.
Yeah. And
I agree with that as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're not kind of we're not made to live in isolation, so it makes sense that that you need that kind of feedback. I think everyone needs feedback in some way. Like, of course, I'm happy.
Nice for validation.
Yeah, of course, I am happy when I write something that I'm interested in, but it's nice if people can appreciate it as well. It gives you another good feeling, and you wonder what, like, I guess when I write, it's kind of like hopefully to inspire some change in thought or some good feelings, and when I can give that to people, that's like the main goal essentially. But yeah, I guess it's kind of like, you're right though, Jim. It's kind of like when when someone says you did a good job there, that really gives me motivation as well to kind of keep moving forward with it as well. So yeah, I mean, in that sense, Dim, you know, if you ever did feel like, you know, picking up the pen again, so to say, so to speak, then you know, we're there to kind of help you.
I'll do more like artwork and stuff. It's just my PC can't handle it.
Yeah, I mean, what I mean is though, you're always welcome to show us, and we're happy to give you our feedback, definitely.
Oh, yeah. I've been doing it for years. It's not going to change.
Yeah, I mean, I had a little mess about with a drawing the other day. It's easy.
Yeah,
Ride
sure.
the bike, mate.
I think it's a little bit easier to get into if it's like a collaborative thing as well, isn't it? Because, like,
Well, you've got the
say,
pressure there.
well, no,
Well, not
it's
pressure,
also
but
like, it's also like you're,
Well, sharing ideas that other people
Yeah,
are
you're-
interested
you're
in
like-
always motivates you, doesn't it, to do more?
you're sharing the
Well,
workload as well.
It
aren't you?
inspires you to do more because obviously other people are putting in ideas that you wouldn't have necessarily thought about, and then obviously coalescing that into your own ideas. And it's like, motherfucker, we've just been brilliant.
comparing them and then coming up with a final thing is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
or-
it's-
Karen.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was saying it's also that kind of knowing that someone's expecting it from you as well. I think that motivates me as well. Like it's not just me that's kind of if it's just me that wants to do it, it's like there's no deadline. But if someone says to me, we need this story or
You're
this
letting
part of
them-
the story, it's like
you're
yeah,
letting
you'd be
them
letting them down. That's right. Yeah. So that's another good motivation as well.
I think
Yeah.
the other thing is like, if you know, it might like if you want to, it's like a task. It might seem too monumental to do on your own. You don't know where to start. And you're like,
Yeah.
whereas, for example, if I send Dim like something I've designed, he might go like, that's like a starting point for him, and then he might go, oh, I got these ideas, and I'll send it to him, and he'll start working on it. Because
Yeah,
there's
sure,
already
yeah.
a base point for him to. It's like a non-massive thing to start from scratch. It's like, oh, I got
Yeah,
these ideas
yeah.
to do this
Yeah.
and this, and
I'll
then
pick out everything you've done wrong and be like, this is
yeah, it
wrong,
rips it
this
to
is
shreds.
wrong."
Yeah.
But then that's that kind of
Redo it all.
yeah, it's that snowball effect again, isn't it? It's like you've taken a first step, but then someone's taken a step with you, but then you kind of get that motivation because you're doing it together. Then it's kind of like a nice, like I say, collaborative
Collaboration usually
project.
helps.
Emma's not here in a moment, but I like that little dog and cat thing I messed around with her. I just fucked up her picture. I'm sure it inspired her to do something like different or better.
Evil little dog.
Don't worry,
Yeah,
listeners, I don't know what he's talking about either.
Everyone's on
Emma
the
will
same
know.
page.
Hopefully she'll listen to this and
Cool. Well, I say if that's it for everyone, I'm happy to end it there. I'll just say a few words to kind of finish up, and then we'll be good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I think so.
Cool. Great.
Yeah,
Well,
that's good.
thanks guys for thanks for taking part. I think it's really interesting to, as I said at the beginning, to kind of talk about motivation because it really kind of speaks to you about someone's purpose and how they kind of achieve that in their lives. And I'm really happy to speak to you guys about it today. And yeah, thanks to listeners for joining us at the table once more. And next week we're going to talk about our top 3 artists in music.